You good? Yep. Okay. Okay, good evening, everyone. I'm going to call this meeting to order of the Holyoke City Council. Today is Tuesday, December 2nd. It is 7:05 p.m. We are live from the City Council chambers. This meeting is being recorded and translated into Spanish, thanks to our friends at Holyoke Media, and the clerk will call the roll.
Hold on 1 second, I'm here.
Okay, thank you.
Just give me one, I don't know what it is. Okay, there we go. Okay. All right.
You're going first.
Who's going first?
Mike, I'll tell her.
Anderson Burgos,
Here.
Bartley, Devine,
Here.
Givner,
Here.
Graney,
Here.
Jordan,
Here.
McGrath Smith,
Here.
Murphy Ramboletti,
Here.
Ocasio,
Here.
Israel Rivera,
Present.
Jenny Rivera, Sullivan,
Here.
Bacon.
Here.
Thank you. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, so we do obviously have folks on Zoom, and I completely understand because the weather is crazy. I just need to read that I would entertain a motion to take a roll call vote that for the purposes of this meeting would be applicable to all motions to receive, to refer items to committee, remove items from the table, place items on the table, package items together, comply with items, or suspend the rules unless there is an objection.
So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, and then also, Counselor Sullivan's name was picked first to vote tonight. So I just want to make sure Madam Clerk is aware of that. And just a reminder, if folks can make sure they're muted if you are Zooming in this evening. Thank you so much. And first things first is the President's report. This is one of those moments where I am glad that it has been changed to the first item on the agenda because I feel like we need to start off this meeting recognizing the two major fires over the last 24 hours that have taken place in Holyoke and have displaced dozens of families. I want to obviously thank the Holyoke Fire Department, the Police Department, the War Memorial, Enlace de Familias, the Emergency Management Team, the Holyoke Health Center, the Holyoke Public Schools. There are so many agencies and city departments who have stepped up, and you guys have been just amazing. I've been at the temporary emergency shelter areas. Last night I was there until about 10:30, and today I was there for most of the day. So I have to admit that my perspective is a little different tonight. I'm not here to argue about things. I don't have it in me. I'll just be fully transparent with you. I need to give a special shout out to Councilors Ocasio and Jenny Rivera. Councilor Ocasio, I'm actually super impressed that you're on this call right now. And Jenny isn't here because she is doing her full-time job, helping the families that have been displaced. But those two have been there through everything, and I just want to, we've had a lot of counselors show up, and I want to thank all of the counselors who have been able to stop by or contribute or in whatever way you've helped. But I just want to give a special shout out to Carmen and Jenny, because you've made me super proud. And
Thank you.
thank you. And there are ways to support these efforts. The most urgent need right now is monetary support. There is a relief fund that's been organized by Enlace de Familias. It's actually right now on the front page of the city website. It's under departmental messages. The mayor shared it on social media. Please, if you're watching or if you're here, continue to share. The last 24 hours have been so hard and so awful to watch and to just witness. But I think I speak for all of us when I say, like, this is when Holyoke shines, and this is when we all come together as a community. And I think I speak for all of us when I say that we are all keeping all of the families impacted by this. The Holyoke Public Schools has really stepped up too. It's just been, being able to see it in action is truly powerful. So I just want to thank everyone who has done what they can to support this effort. And, we will continue to move forward as a community. Thank the mayor's office for all that they've done. But yeah, I hope that, we've got a lot of things on the agenda tonight. I know it's terrible weather outside. I appreciate those of you who came in person. I mean, and obviously I'm going to do my best to coordinate the whole Zoom effort. And Jeffrey is a rock star, and we'll make sure that I don't miss anyone on Zoom. But tonight we are voting on the supplemental sewer budget and the tax shift. We do have to vote on the supplemental sewer budget first. And I know that this has been a long process, so as a reminder to everyone, this is a good sign that we are voting on our tax shift tonight, because DLS had initially indicated back in September that we couldn't set our tax rate. In recent conversations, I am always in contact with our city's financial offices and the mayor and with DLS. And so they have lifted the initial restrictions that they initially put on us to set the tax rate or set the shift. And that's because of the progress that has been made to date. So I just want to thank everyone in the room and everyone at City Hall who has helped make that possible, because this is why I didn't cancel the meeting tonight. I actually would have loved to. But we have some important work to do this evening. So that will be happening tonight, hopefully. And then just for some good news, and then if anyone wants to add anything, just a couple of things that are coming up that should, make us feel nice is the tree lighting is this weekend, Saturday. So please come by with your friends and family. All the fun stuff starts around 3. There's the merry-go-round has a great bunch of things going on. Everything at City Hall starts at 5, and then the tree lighting is at 6. And then after that, we have the Parade of Lights. It's just going to be, if you need to feel good after a really tough week, you should come to the tree lighting. That's my official endorsement. Sunday, the 7th, we have Christmas on High Street. This is a free event from noon to 5 p.m. Outside of 415 High Street, so please stop by. As you know, folks, we were supposed to do city council pictures this evening. We did not, for obvious reasons, so we have rescheduled that to 6 p.m. before the next meeting on December 16th. So make sure you shower that day or whatever you need to do. Don't forget to follow up with Jeffrey for the MMA conference as soon as possible. And the City Hall holiday party is on Friday, December 19th. Is it Thursday, Mayor, or Friday? It's Friday. At Fame from 5 to 8 p.m. There is an email from Jeffrey. Please RSVP. There's, just want everyone to be able to plan accordingly. Those are all of my updates. Thank you for listening to me, because I have just, it's been a tough 24 hours in Holyoke, so thank you. Did I miss anything, Counselor Givner?
Thank you, Madam President. I just wanted to mention that for our Bike and Pedestrian Committee, Price Armstrong has been on the Bike and Pedestrian Committee for about 10 years, and he just had his last meeting. He's done a lot of work for the city, and he got a commendation from our Representative Pat Duffy on Monday night. So I just wanted to mention that he's done a lot of good work, and he will be missed. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor.
Madam
Madam
Chair.
Clerk. Oh, yes, Counselor Graney.
I just I'd like a moment of silence for two great Hoyokers that passed away this week, Kenny Lubold and Ken Hebert. Ken Hebert's wife was a longtime teacher in Holyoke Public Schools, and Kenny Lubold is a longtime Holyoke resident, very positive resident for the city of Holyoke. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. Please observe a moment of silence. Thank you. And Madam Clerk, just so you're aware, Counselor Bartley's here. So I think that's all I have for the President's report. Seeing nothing else, we do have, is there anyone signed up? Oh, I'm sorry, Counselor Jordan.
Yes, when it's appropriate, I'd like to make a motion to suspend the rules to go to item 53, the tax rate setting, when you're ready. I'd like to do that earlier in the meeting.
Okay. Yes, we will definitely be getting to that. First, I don't see anyone signed up in person for public comment. And, oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. Now I do. Please hold. Jordana, I am going to start the timer, and it will be 2 minutes, and I will let you know when you're halfway through, and then I'll let you know when time is up. And please just start by stating your name and address for the record.
Sure. Good evening. My name is Jordana O'Connell. I live at 56 Woodland Street. I am here today to give special thanks to Councilor Rivera for filing order number 56. I'd like to thank him for honoring his commitment, as he stated before, to explore conservation for the woodland forest. Tonight, I'm imploring you, councilors, to act boldly and without delay. Elmwood Forest may mean different things to many different people, but what is undeniable is that it's one of Holyoke's last. It's an intact, thriving green space. Preserving this land is not a sentimental gesture. It's quite actually a necessary act of environmental justice and just basic common sense. We are a city, unfortunately, filled with empty buildings, vacant lots, and underutilized or underused parcels waiting for redevelopment. So I struggle with why this year we're even considering bulldozing the last few places that's already working as intended. It's not just trees. Elmwood Forest provides clean air in our city with high asthma rates. It provides cooler temperatures during heat waves. It's a wildlife habitat, stormwater absorption, and a rare pocket of peace in this paved landscape. Once it's gone, it is gone forever. So I would please implore you to consider this as conservation land. Massachusetts offers grants up to $500,000 to protect forest land. This would make great environmental and fiscal sense. We'd be doing public a disservice if we ignored this. The last thing I would like to state clearly is that parcel map lot 120-00-011 on Martin Street is reportedly in land court and should not be auctioned off once the city regains possession.
Thank you. Okay. Oh, okay. We do have someone else. I know Jessica emailed Jeffrey that she would like to speak. And Jessica, I do have your communication as well. Let's see if we can allow you access. You should be able to, okay, and then just remember to state your name and address for the record, and I will let you know when you're halfway through, okay?
Sure.
Go for it.
My name is Jessica Montagna, and I live at 79 Brookline Avenue. Only when the last tree has been cut down, the last river poisoned, and the last fish caught will we realize that we cannot eat money. Members of the council, this proverb attributed to the Cree people carries a truth that speaks plainly to our moment. If the city holds firm to the commitment to protect our air, water, and land, as the mayor stated in September when highlighting the progress made with Mass DEP through the Holyoke Urban Initiative, then the proposed destruction of Elmwood Forest is in direct conflict with that commitment. Clean air efforts cannot move forward while one of our most effective natural air filters is marked for removal. I ask you directly, how have plans for the sports complex advanced so far without public input despite its ecological risks? The concept for the sports complex is vague, the design is generic, the projected revenue cannot be calculated without professional development plans, which from what I understand has not occurred. Yet leadership appears ready to advance a project that would damage a neighborhood, disrupt a fragile ecological system, and reduce the quality of life for our community. I understand the role that urban green space plays. Urban forests regulate temperature, reduce flooding, improve air quality. They help counter rising heat in gateway cities such as Holyoke. We belong to the Green and Gateway City program. Removing this forest would go against that mission and deepen inequities to healthy outdoor space. Again, like Jordana said, the Commonwealth offers grants up to $500,000 for forest acquisition. The parcel lot on Martin Street, once resolved through land court, should be dedicated to preservation. I ask this council to share where the legal process currently stands. Your agenda for tonight's meeting highlights transparency and community focus. Preserving Elmwood Forest fully aligns with both, and I urge you to act in that spirit. Thank you.
Perfect, thank you. Okay, hold on. All right. I am not seeing any other hands on Zoom. Counselors, I was provided with a written communication from Darlene and Christopher Keene, who live at 95 Martin Street. Jeffrey did circulate this with all of you. They were not sure if they were going to be in attendance at tonight's meeting due to the weather. I don't see them on Zoom. Do you want me to read this into the record? I know we don't usually, so it's really the will of the body.
Well, I'll make just so we can all go home tonight. I'll make a motion to receive it.
Okay.
For now, and then when they're here, we can read into the record down the road.
Okay.
Is that fair?
That's fair to me. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, so the motion's been made and seconded to receive the communication via email from Darlene and Christopher Keene at 95 Martin Street. And I see Chris on Zoom. I don't know if you're trying to raise your hand. I just want to make sure everyone has the opportunity to speak. Okay, well, then we will receive the communication for now, and as Councilor Bartley said, under the motion to read it or have it into the record at a future date as well, if it needs to be read. Does that sound good? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I'd like to make a motion to receive item 12 before we look at 53.
Before, okay, so a motion to receive item 12 before we do 53.
Yes.
Okay. Motion's been made and seconded to receive item 12. Okay, so yes, this item 12 is from the former auditor, Tanya, for the mayor's sewer enterprise supplemental budget submission. The motion's been made and seconded. Under discussion, Councilor Givner?
I just looking at items 2012 and 53, it just makes sense to take them up together. But since Councilor Jordan had already hinted at a motion to take up 53 for a vote, I thought it made sense to look at 12 first. So.
Okay. Other discussion? Counselor Sullivan?
Yeah, as long as we're receiving this, I'd also like to thank the mayor for mentioning myself and Councilor-elect Mimi Panich. But we'd be very much remiss if we didn't recognize the amount of work that both Brian Beauregard and Andy Fisk did in the work on the long-term sewer contract.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you. Other discussion? Okay, seeing none. So the motion was to receive item 12 and receive, I'm sorry, was it receive and adopt? Item 12.
53?
Item 12.
Okay, just 12.
Yep, receive and adopt item 12.
Can you read
Yes,
item
Counselor
12?
Bartley.
Oh, what-
Or, sorry, Counselor Jordan. Did you have
Yeah.
your hand up?
Yeah, could you read item 12, please?
Absolutely. So it's, do you want me to read the whole, hold on. I can read the letter here. Is that good? Is that good for you, Counselor Jordan? Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, I'm just wondering what the portion is that you're saying that we may have to quote unquote approve.
Right. So I'll read briefly into the record item 12, which is communication from the mayor and our former city auditor. So we began the year with $1.5 million in excess capacity. This was possible because of conservative budgeting, strong new growth. The council increased this amount further when we adopted the supplemental budget at our last meeting. As a reminder, excess capacity is the amount of tax revenue that could be raised and we chose not to levy. Maintaining excess capacity is a sign of fiscal health. It shows our general operating budget does not need to be pushed to the levy limit, which ultimately saves taxpayers money. Unfortunately, the entire amount of excess capacity has now been reduced to effectively zero. This is the result of taxpayers once again being asked to subsidize the wastewater enterprise fund due to our unsustainable sewer rate. The budget plan before you tonight is fully balanced without drawing from reserves, but it does come at a cost to taxpayers. There is some good news. City has executed a new contract that will lower our expenses. Without this contract, we would be forced to identify other funding sources to cover the gap. I want to thank the city's negotiation team, led by Mary Monahan, and Assistant Solicitor Mike Bissonette, Councilor Mike Sullivan, Councilor-elect Mimi Panich for their work to right-size this contract. I respectfully urge the council to consider establishing a new sewer rate for fiscal year 27. Setting a sustainable rate will protect the long-term health of the enterprise fund, allow us to invest in critical infrastructure, and reduce the burden on taxpayers. That was signed by the mayor. And Councilor Jordan, I'll let you, if you have follow-ups, and I do see, okay, your hand is up.
Well, Madam President, I see a letter from the mayor as you read, but I don't see in there any transfer. I don't see
Right, you're right.
anything
that
to
you-
actually vote on.
That's correct. There is not an actual formal transfer that needs to be done. We were informed by some of our outside auditors that DOR is going to require us to raise the sewer deficit on the recap, but no formal vote is needed.
Okay.
And so, what? Right, and for whatever reason, that part of the supplemental budget was not included in what we looked at a few weeks ago, and what we voted on at was it the last meeting, or maybe the meeting before? So this is more of a
notification.
Yeah, and we need to vote to do that. so that we are technically approving that. Does that make sense?
No, because we would actually have to have something in front of us to vote. There's nothing for us to act on. This is,
No,
we're
the
just doing it.
I understand the supplemental budget of the sewer supplemental budget is before you. That is what we are voting on. It's very similar to when we voted to approve the mayor's supplemental budget for whatever reason, and the mayor is here if you want to address that, why it's, but that communication, which was a late file today. Oh, no, on Friday, I apologize. But there is communication that explains, it's very similar to when we did the supplemental budget a few weeks ago. So if it's okay with you, can I just let the mayor add to that? He is here tonight.
Sure.
Mayor.
Do you need a vote?
No,
Motion.
I need you to,
So item 12 has a supplemental.
We can't hear you.
Item 12 should have the supplemental with the letter you just read. And so in that supplemental is the raise and appropriation, right, to cover that deficit. And so all I did was include a communication to go with that. The late file tonight that I submitted as communication was in relation to the
that's right.
to the tax rate
Sorry.
shift.
Okay. Counselor Bacon?
Thank you. So the letter that I think you just read is the late file, and we only have item 12 before us.
No, I
And if
apologize. What I just
So
read
if I-
was item 12.
So if I'm understanding correctly, this would be similar to the supplemental budget that we sent to finance and then they
Yes, ma'am.
reported out to
Correct.
us at the last meeting, right?
That's correct.
And you're asking us to approve it on the floor to add the 1.2 million to the tax levy tonight?
No, it's not.
No?
It's not adding to the tax levy. I think the mayor, I'm going to give the mayor the opportunity to, but it's not
Okay.
to raise the tax levy. The tax levy is not changing from what you all saw on November 6th.
Reducing to 1.2 million.
Go ahead, Mayor.
The supplemental is reducing to the 1.2 million. Is that accurate?
The supplemental on the sewer?
I'm gonna have Rory come up and.
I just want to let everyone know in the chambers that it's a little hard to hear you, so you might want to speak a little bit louder.
Got it. Thank you. Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. Thank you.
So I was just asked to come up to clarify. As Councilor Sullivan will know, when the budget was originally presented, the wastewater treatment plant budget was presented with a placeholder number. When Mary Monahan, who was the interim director at the time, came in, discussed the budget, she said we would be coming back with a supplemental budget that would change that to reflect the new contract, which was signed after the original budget submission. The original wastewater treatment plant budget, the bottom line was in excess of $10 million. The supplemental in front of you this evening reduces that by $1.1 million. $1.1 million that we no longer need. If that was to stay in the budget as is right now, we would be having to find money, but there's no need for that money to be in the wastewater treatment plant budget because of the good work that review committee did in executing a new contract. That is the reason why this vote needs to take place prior to the tax rate setting, because that's already what's reflected in the recap. This is a housekeeping measure. It should have been submitted as part of the supplemental budget. It slipped through the cracks with the interim directors, going through a few interim directors at DPW.
Okay.
Thank you for the clarification.
Thank you, Counselor. I see Counselor Jordan.
Yeah, Madam President, supportive of the clarification, that does make sense. The only thing I'm a little concerned about is we have none of this in writing. Like, we have the mayor's cover letter, but like the rest of the supplemental budget, there should be a budget page. that was
There
provided.
is.
There is.
There is?
There are.
Yes, it was sent out on Friday with all the materials, and it was included with the mayor's letter.
Okay.
It was a separate attachment, but it's in the attachments that went out on Friday initially.
All right, because the letter that I got for 12 didn't have that extra budget page. Can you just give those amounts then from what account to what account? If you have that document in front of you?
Well, it's, so it's a separate attachment in all of the attachments that went out on Friday. And hold on, let me just,
I've spent a lot of time.
I bet you have.
Quickly
Yep.
breeze through this. I don't have the exact dollar amounts in front of me, but basically what's going on here is the original placeholder had one number in the budget, not including the debt, which is on a separate page. There was one number for the operations of the wastewater treatment plant in the original budget that was submitted and acted on prior to the start of the fiscal year. That was $9 million.
Yep.
That was the number, and the object code for those following along at home is 53012. So the original placeholder budget had 9 million there. We knew that that was overestimated. We knew that we would be coming in. Mary needed to let the contract be fully executed to see exactly how everything was going to be done. So now what this does is it effectively reduces the long-term service contract, but it breaks out new lines, the rental of a centrifuge, utility costs. There is some sewer charges that are being added, a few other things that are no longer part of the contract, but are part of the wastewater treatment plant budget. The total effective change, the net change, went from $9,200,699, which is what was voted on by the council in June. It reduces that by $1,118,000 to a new total amount for the operations, again, not the debt, that's a different number, the operations of the wastewater treatment plant of $8,082,699. So it's essentially flat with what was requested last year, but keep in mind, this is only reflective of, I believe, 9 months, because the contract itself didn't take effect until September 1st. So next year's process, we're hoping to see greater savings, because the first 3 months of this year, and just to put it in perspective for you, the monthly charges have been reduced by a little over $150,000, $200,000 with this new contract.
Does anyone have follow-up comments or discussion?
Thank you for the added detail. That's important.
Absolutely, totally agree.
Okay, and thanks, Jeffrey, for pulling that up as fast as you could.
Can I make a motion?
Yes, I think there was, so Counselor Givner had a motion on the floor to receive and adopt item 12. Seeing no other discussion, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Do
Any
we have to
opposed?
do a roll call vote on a budget item?
We don't have to,
Okay.
but we can if you would like.
No, that's fine.
Okay, so all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? All right, with that, you have passed item 12. Thank you. And then Counselor Jordan, did you want to move forward on, what is it, item 53?
Yep. it's on the roll for item.
All righty. So that is item 53 is order that the City Council vote to set an MRF for fiscal year 26 tax classification. For those of you who are perhaps tuning in for the first time or not familiar with the process, just a brief overview. Okay, it's okay. Jeffrey's screen is frozen, so We're gonna let him work his magic. And do you want me to pause? Okay. So, once our tax classification hearing is held by the city council, we are able to vote on the percentage of the tax burden that we wish to shift from residential to commercial. This allows us to shift a single tax rate from residential to commercial, which also includes commercial industrial property and personal property. So the shift is a majority vote of the council. And the way that we do this procedurally is that we can take up to 3 amendments if there are 3 amendments this evening. And for the purposes of voting tonight, I would ask everyone, same as last year, if you can, just remember to use the first column SIP shift, and you'll see the corresponding tax rates to whatever shift you're proposing. And just give me a second, because I want to make sure I read it into the record and get that information correctly. But that being said, if there are 3 amendments, we will take votes going with the last amendment first, and we'll work backwards until we vote on all 3. If all 3 fail, we can then go to 3 more votes, possible votes, or literally the same motions if they're repeated. So let me just grab my packet. So I have everything here. Get that out of the way. All right. And so, Counselor Jordan, I see, okay, hold on. I see you, Counselor Jordan. I have Counselor Sullivan, then Counselor Jordan, and then Counselor Devine. If there are motions. So Counselor Sullivan.
Yeah, I would just like to take up late file 75
Oh, thank you.
and item number 11 also as a along with this.
Item 11, okay.
So
Sorry.
the reason is on 75, we have a recommendation from the mayor for the tax rate setting. And also on item 11, it was stated earlier that we were being allowed to set a tax rate because the DLS was pleased with our progress, which I don't find to be the case. In item 11, the letter states clearly, it is clear from our meeting that the issues surrounding cash reconciliation resulting inability to submit Schedule A submissions for free cash are no closer to being resolved by the city when I issued my letter dated September 22nd. It further states that the city's catastrophic multi-year cash reconciliations make indefinite application of the law unnecessarily punitive. I am not of the belief that the best interests of the residents, employees of the cities are served by continuing to hold the city's aids payment. That is far from being pleased in allowing us to set a tax rate.
So thank you, and I'm going to, there was a motion to suspend the
second
rules
it.
and take up item 1175 with item 53. There was a second. All those in favor?
I,
Aye.
and can I just make a friendly amendment, because I did file an order relative to this very question. I just want to get rid of it.
Oh, okay.
Where-
And that would be
Fine.
item,
Yeah, let me just find it. Oh, it's 59.
item
We can
59.
get rid of that one, too.
Do I have a second?
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so we've got 11 and, all right, Counselor Sullivan, I didn't mean to cut you off before. If there's anything else you wanted to add, I just wanted to make sure we did the procedural stuff.
I'm good.
Okay. Other discussion on this topic? Counselor Jordan, is that your hand for this or for
Yep.
your next?
Oh, I want to make a motion on the item 53.
Okay.
I don't-
I'll come back to you. Thank you. Okay. I'm not seeing, did you have on this item, Counselor Devine?
Yeah, on the, with Counselor Sullivan reading parts of that letter from DLS, what he didn't read was that, we will therefore release all aid held from July 2025 through October 25 and resume normal monthly payments beginning with November 25 distribution. So I want to get that in for the record.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, so then we will continue to move forward. I had Counselor Jordan next.
Yes, thank you. I'd like to propose the shift of 1.75.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to propose a shift of 1.75, which would translate to, for a, hold on, residential of 17.43 and a commercial of 38.16.
Madam
Okay.
President, what's the rate now?
Oh.
If you have it, I'm sorry.
I have it 1746 residential, 3855 commercial.
Thank you.
38.55?
Yep.
Okay. Do I have another motion?
Here.
Counselor Sullivan.
I'd propose a shift of 1.745. That would maintain the current rate for the residential and allow a 50-cent decrease for commercial.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded for a shift of 1.745. As was mentioned, that would be a residential rate of 17.46 and a commercial rate of 38.05. Is there any another motion? Okay, I'm not seeing any other motions. Before we vote, is there any other discussion? And Councilor Jordan, I do see your hand up. Is that just from before or?
For discussion.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Councilor Jordan.
Yeah, thank you. Couple of points I would like to make is one.
He's real hard to hear.
Oh, hey, Kevin, you sort of
Yeah.
sound like you're underwater. It's a little hard to
About
hear
now?
you.
How about now? Is that better?
That is better, yes. Thank
Okay,
you.
Thank you. So the first point I'd like to make is a 7% tax increase is just absolutely unheard of. To have a shift of 1.75 is already going to be, I think, catastrophic to the average residents. I mean, you have people on Social Security that are getting a 2.8% increase. This is just mind-numbing, these type of increases year over year. As I've stated during the last several months and earlier, we've raised the taxes, this city, 19%. I haven't been voting for those increases, but the majority has, and 19% in the last 4 years, and this adds on to that. It's just backbreaking, these type of increases. And it's really, we have to get to a point where we can function as a city with 2.5%, 3% type increases that the city and the citizens can reasonably afford. Now, I gotta say, I have been making this message, and the people that are being voted in, including the mayor, they love high tax increases. So very well could be that the majority of the citizens or the people at least that are voting, the 17% that are showing up at the polls, believe that we should have massive tax increases and that this is a good thing. So perhaps I'm in the wrong here, but I will state my opinion for the record because I think long-term, this type of saddling the residents with this kind of tax debt is going to come back to bite the city. Holyoke needs to remain an affordable community. We've got a lot of strikes against us, and we're working in many regards to improve those. But if we lose affordability, a lot of these other things are going to go out the window. We have to get to a point where we have a niche that people say, well, if you go to Holyoke, you can get a reasonably priced home and you can have a reasonable cost of living. Because if you're going to be paying the type of taxes that other suburbia has, we're not going to be able to effectively compete. And this is why we're losing population in this city far greater than any other community in Hampden County. People are moving with their feet, and it's really, really concerning. And then the other thing that I think is very troubling is the fact that business is continuing to erode in the city of Holyoke. It was only about 20 years ago where it was 50-50 commercial and residential. Today it's 80-20 residential to commercial. That's putting us in also a vulnerable position. So we have to learn how to manage on a budget, and we've got to learn how to make these things work. Now, some of the things in the mayor's letter I do agree with, that he does point out. Some of them are related to the massive increase that the state required on our school spending. This is a city that cannot afford $1.1 million increase in a year on net school spending. We don't have those kind of funds. It just once again shows that Boston is tone deaf to not providing us the type of aid we need. Those are dollars that we simply cannot continue to go up on this levy. To have a levy going up over $3 million this year, that's unbelievable to have that kind of an increase. We've never had those kind of increases. So as we think about where the values have gone, you're seeing a 1% to 2% commercial industrial increase in values, and you're seeing a 7% to 8% residential increase in the values. That is why the mayor's proposal on the 175 is correct. Where I disagree with the mayor is on the overall levy and this budget. This is why I haven't supported that level of spending. We have to grow far more efficient with the amount of dollars that we had. But there are certain things, as he does correctly point out, on the schools. The retirement is what it is. Transportation, health insurance, I do agree with him on those points. Sewer deficit, that is a very long conversation, and I would have to get in more into those numbers in order to talk about the $1.2 million number. But there again, here's another situation. You already see him advocating for another massive sewer increase. So the residents are going to be faced with that big increase. And as we've seen in the past, those have all been 20, 25 type % increases time and time again when those have come in. So, we keep hearing that we're spending less money on the black box, which was the budget. And I'm optimistic, hopefully with the new contract, that there will be greater transparency. But we really need to make sure that area is being held accountable and being very transparent around those numbers. Again, I'll come back to the privatization from 20 years ago. These type of massive increases in the sewer rate have far exceeded the amount of money needed for the capital improvements that were needed. And that's just a mathematical fact. So everything that I said in 2005 has proven true on this sewer rate. And by the way, I had predicted and proposed, if you recall back in June, $1 million cut to the sewer budget, which we just cut by $1.1 million now. So I was 6 months ahead of the game already, and but we got that fixed a few minutes ago. So again, 175 is going to be devastating to residents at a $350 increase per average home. And obviously that's only half the homes. The people in the top half are going to be paying way more than $350 increase. So 175 is as bad as it should be. To do any more than that is just insult to injury. So I would really encourage the council to adopt 175.
Thank you. I have quite a few folks in the queue now. I got Councilor Bacon, then Councilor Izzy Rivera, Councilor Devine, Councilor Anderson Burgos, and Councilor Givner. So Councilor Bacon, take it away.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I am hoping that my colleagues will support the 1.75 tax shift because it is the most that we can do. And as it is, it's only making a difference of 3 cents. So pretty much whatever your value went up on your house, that percentage will be how much your tax bill will increase. We've generally had, on an average basis, tax increases in the $200 some odd range per year. This year, we're exceeding $350 on the average valued home. During the election season, we were asked what we saw as the biggest pressing issue in our community, and I said affordability. And looking at the fee increases that we are looking at raises that people want to push through, and looking at changes in fee structures, this is only going to go from bad to worse. And there were a few of us who tried to get some reductions in the budget. We were unsuccessful. I mean, in this last budget, we added positions rather than looking for efficiencies and consolidations. So I'm feeling like affordability is going to become a huge issue going forward. And I know I'm going to be serving with a lot of people who believe in big government and that government fixes everything better than not. But right now we are taxing our citizens that are on a fixed or slowly increasing income right out of our city. And I just don't think it's the right thing. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. I have Councilor Izzy Rivera next.
Do we have somebody online that I can ask like a question to, or is just?
I mean, it depends what the question is.
Just clarification on the number, the 1.75. My understanding is that is the lowest we can go, right?
I am trying to figure out who that might be a question for.
Yeah, that's true.
That's I believe that's accurate,
Okay.
but if you're like looking for a
Yeah, so I guess for me it's just trying to figure out, because I'm getting a little confused with some of the stuff, right? Because there's what we can do as the council, right, when we set a rate, and right now the 1.75 is the lowest we can potentially do. Now, with regards to property values increasing, I'm actually looking at the other sheet that's on that item 53 sheet. Then it has average tax data for fiscal years 21 to 26. If you actually look at the numbers, the tax rate has kind of been going down. It doesn't mean that the property values are going down, but the tax rate has been going down. So it's not that the council and the community is not trying to bring down the rate or trying to help the taxpayer. We have been to the best of our abilities, but we can't control property values here on a local level. That doesn't make sense to say that we're the ones doing that as a council, or that the mayor is, and I'm not trying to defend the mayor, like it is what it is. It's just, I'm just trying to better understand, because I'm getting confused right now. It feels like now, because what was presented to me sounded like there's a formula to this, right? We get these numbers from a formula, but what it sounds like is like these numbers are arbitrary and that the mayor's just kind of like put it together out of nowhere, because that's what it kind of sounded like. And I'm trying to figure out, like, is this put together by a formula, or was this an arbitrary number that got put together and it's increasing and inflating the budget just because we want to have more employees added on? Because it makes sense for the public to understand what's happening in this process right now. And I'm getting kind of confused with all the extra information, because if there is leeway to change it, then we should be doing that. If there isn't, then why would we say things that we can't technically do? I'm just trying to better understand it. That was my point, and that's why I was hoping there was someone here from the team that presented the last time online. But it's cool. And then so for me is I will probably more than likely be supporting the 1.75. But also in looking at these numbers over the last few days, I don't want to increase taxes on residential. I wouldn't do that because, to be honest, we are covering most of the bill. But at the end of the day, though, this is kind of a space where I kind of see where Councilor Sullivan is going, where you can actually say you're business friendly in Holyoke at the same time as you're kind of trying to save face for the taxpayer. So like, there couldn't be a happy medium if people wanted to have that conversation. But I more than likely am going to support the 1.75. But there is a space for that right now. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. I have Councilor Devine next.
Thank you, Madam President. I just want to make sure that I heard correctly. I know that in the mayor's letter, he had asked for a shift factor of 1.75, and I believe Councilor Jordan and Councilor Vacan have agreed with that.
That was the first motion that was made. If you're looking for clarification, yes.
All right. I just wanted to make sure, and I think that lowering the business side of it is good because that only makes more businesses come in, and that also lowers the residential. But I just wanted to point out that that's what the mayor had done as well.
Thank you. I have Councilor Anderson Burgos, then Councilor Givner, and then Councilor Sullivan.
Yeah, I wanted to possibly motion for a third option, a third shift.
Yes, absolutely. But can I come, well, do you want to just do that now?
Yeah, I could do it quick.
Okay. What's your motion?
Motion for a shift of 1.7475, which makes residential 17.45 and commercial 38.11, which is right in the middle.
Okay. So that was a motion for 1.7475, correct?
Correct.
And is there a second?
Second.
Okay. That was a second. I do recognize that there's more folks in the queue for discussion. Councilor Anderson Burgos, did you have anything to add before I go to the next?
No, that was it. Thank you.
Okay. I have Councilor Givner and then Councilor Sullivan.
Thank you, Madam President. So I just wanted to thank Councilor Jordan for proposing that 1.75. I think makes the most sense right now. But yeah, I feel like we always talk about the needs of the taxpayers, which is obviously the most important thing, offsetting the tax burden. But as I often do, I like to remind us all that there was a 10-year period where we either kept the taxes at no increase, or we minimized the taxes or increased it by very little, and I'm talking about like 0.25%. So unfortunately, I think we're spending some time now having to deal with incredibly high inflation and the fact that we didn't increase taxes when we could. And if we're talking about capital improvement needs and the funding being exceeded, I would just ask why everything isn't fixed. You know, if we had so much money and we spent too much money on capital improvements, why do we have, 100-plus-year-old sewage systems that still need to be redone. So I would remind my colleagues that it's all well and good to talk about how we need to reduce taxes, but it's important to remember that we are still a city. We need to pay for things, and we spent many years not paying for things. And unfortunately, if times were normal and we didn't have these incredibly high inflation rates, we could pay for things very slowly over time. But unfortunately for us, we've had these incredibly high inflation rates, and now we have to pay things a lot more than we would have had to if inflation wasn't so high. So I just wanted to remind people of that. There was a 10-year period where the taxes in Holyoke were stagnant. And if we had slowly raised taxes during those times, even 1% a year, 2% a year, we wouldn't be facing the same burden that we're facing now. But unfortunately, our city's worth more, our houses are worth more, and so we're paying for that, and we're paying for all the things we didn't do in the past. So I just wanted to point that out. Thank you.
Thank you. I have Councillor Sullivan, and then I see Councillor Jordan's hand up.
I've just heard too many things to try and correct all of them, but I'm just going to start with the basic nuts and bolts here. The reason the tax burden is so high is because of the budget. That's what directly impacts how much we have to tax. And I'll remind this entire council that at the previous budget hearings and the budget hearings before that and budget hearings before that, dozens and dozens and dozens of cuts to the budgets were proposed and were turned down by this council and previous councils. All right? So all this concern about the taxpayers and the burden on the taxpayers rests squarely with this body and its failure to act fiscally responsible as far as the budget itself is concerned. All right? As far as the shift goes, the difference between 1.75 and 1.745 for the average homeowner, then let's just say $300,000 real estate property is $9 a year. That's what we're sitting here fighting about, not the money that we wasted on all kinds of extra stuff in the budget. The 50-cent shift in that for the mall, for example, would be $40,000 for the mall. On an average $1 million business in Holyoke, it's $5,000 as compared to what we're discussing here, a $9 difference for the $300,000 home. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Jordan.
Yeah, couple of things. One is, at some point, it's just so great, the amount of the increase. I hate to say it, while I totally agree with everything Mike Sullivan just said, because he's 100% right about the budget, per usual, he's right. I would just say that extra $9, it's just another hit on the residents when they're going to be facing the sewer increases and the massive increase that they took last year. Their taxes are up 19% over the last 4 years. 19%. Now we're adding this, another 7%. It's incredible. And I just wanted to also address this other point with Councillor Givner is in terms of the past budgets and past tax increases. No, there was never a time when we were up 1/4 point for 10 years in a row. That didn't happen. The prior 10 years to the most recent, we actually went down, we went up on the taxes less than 19%, but it wasn't a 1/2 point a year or 1/4 point a year. It's just that we had fiscal discipline that is currently completely lacking here today. We spend money, we never had all the giveaways and the massive increases and all this. And by the way, let me completely dispel this notion that we weren't building into capital. You, with all your increases, you will still not have enough to cover all of the capital needs of this community. Mark my words, that will never happen. And you will never be able to raise on property taxes alone, without state and federal support, you will never be able to cover all of the deferred infrastructure that this community needs. So you have to take a strategic approach. But we built the senior center, we built the police station, 2 fire stations, completely redid Holyoke High School, a number of the schools. We did tons, and the list goes on and on and on, that we did over any one of the 10-year periods. And oh, by the way, we all pat ourselves on the back about the stabilization fund. That was created in the 90s. The 90s. That's only been growing interest. There's been no money put in that fund by this administration or most of the previous ones since the 1990s. So, you know, back in the good old days, when we had small increases, more efficient government, reasonable tax increases, Holyoke was affordable. Holyoke is losing its affordability. And you'll see, eventually, you'll see. This is the road, for trouble for Holyoke. And again, I apparently am in the minority view, and we'll see how it plays out. But we've seen this movie in history before. And it reminds me of Margaret Thatcher's admonition. What happens when you run out of other people's money? We're about to find out. We'll see how long it takes. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm not seeing any other hands up for discussion, and we do, excuse me,
Madam President?
we do have three
I don't mean,
Councilor Bartley.
yeah, I don't really have discussion on this point. I just want
Okay.
to, just on the order that I filed,
Yes.
I'm just going to motion it's complied with.
Okay.
And can I just, I did contact Ms. Wagner. And,
Okay.
And she said it's okay to go ahead with it. And-
Okay.
And I don't need to drill down any further.
So that was a motion to,
Yeah,
that
that's
the
what-
orders complied with.
Yeah, as long as we,
Second.
it's packaged.
And there was a second. Anything else, Councilor Bartley?
Yep, just on this DLS letter.
Yes.
I presume we're going to send this to finance. So I know we took it up, but my motion would be my motion is to send it to finance.
Okay.
Second.
And
And there's
just
a
on
second.
discussion,
Yes.
despite what a prior speaker said, this is an incredibly damning letter. I don't like to say, I was trained here not to say names. Obviously, we say names all the time now. But one of the prior speakers emphasized the word catastrophic, and I'm going to agree with that speaker in particularly. So I think just in larger picture, clearly some of it's not going to be here, and I'm just wish you all luck. I know you're going to do great. My only thing is, if the president recalls, from one of the earlier 2 letters, we had 60 days by which to get our act together, and exactly 0 have been accomplished by the treasurer and the mayor. 0. And that's per this letter. I think we can agree it's dated November 19th. 0 things have been accomplished. They had 60 days to do anything, and this letter says you've done nothing. So I'm hopeful that when this goes to finance, that we'll get a kind of a clearer picture as to what the process and procedure is and who's going to come in and reconcile the books. Because clearly we can't do it in-house. But once it's done by the Commonwealth, I think we'll be in a much better place, and you'll have a new treasurer, and I think the mayor and everybody else will get along, will sail right along. And I think this is going to be a healthy thing. But that's why I really want this to go to finance, this letter and the other 2 letters.
So the motion was
discussion.
made and seconded to send item 11 to finance.
Yeah, and the other,
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
all right?
Any opposed? And then there was another motion that order 52.
Yeah, comply with. Oh, geez. I'm sorry. Just give me half a second.
59.
50. Wow, you're good.
It's not me, it's Jeffrey.
Jeffrey's good.
I'm not good.
50.
All right. 59 is
Thank
that it has been complied with.
Yeah, thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Any opposed? All right, back to our originally scheduled programming. We've got
Thanks.
3 motions on the floor right now. So as a reminder, we're going to work our way backward. So the first one that we will vote on is proposed by Councilor Anderson Burgos. It is 1.7475, and this would bring the commercial rate to 17.45, and the residential from $17.45 to, and then the commercial is $38.11. The clerk will call the roll. If you vote yes, you are voting for the motion of 1.7475.
Sullivan?
No.
Bacon?
No.
Anderson Burgos?
Yes.
Bartley?
Yes.
Bartley?
Madam Clerk, I said yes.
Devine?
Yes.
I can't hear the votes.
Me neither.
Yeah, I can't hear the votes.
No, me neither. I can't hear anybody voting.
Okay. I will encourage folks. Can you guys hear me, Brenna?
I can hear you.
Yeah.
I can't hear, like, everybody else sounds really, like, very distant, and I have my volume up as high as it goes.
Scott is going to have to check the microphones because in here, folks are speaking clearly into the mic. So,
Okay.
thank you for letting us know. Just, Scott will save the day, I'm sure.
Can you repeat?
Oh, okay. He's been alerted that there's an issue.
Because he put the volume up earlier,
Okay.
so we thought that had fixed it, but if there's still a problem.
I
then-
can faintly hear. I think it's Councilor Bartley.
Okay. Well, my microphone. Okay.
I'm not getting called out lately.
I was hearing everything
done
okay
something
during
wrong.
the discussion, but now I can't hear the votes at all.
Okay, so we'll just be super projected when we give our votes. We'll try that again, and how about we go back to the beginning for Madam Clerk?
Sure. Sullivan?
Yes.
Bacon?
No.
Sullivan, you said no first. Did you change your vote?
Yeah.
Keep you
I just
guessing.
want to make sure I wasn't, like, hearing things.
Go with it.
Go with it.
Go
This
with
is a
yes
new
or
one.
no?
Yes.
Okay. All righty. Anderson Burgos?
Yes.
Bartley?
Yes.
Devine?
Yes.
Givner?
No.
Graney?
No.
Jordan?
No.
McGrath Smith?
Yes.
Murphy and Bloody?
No.
Ocasio?
No.
No. Israel Rivera?
Yes.
Six yeas, 6 nays.
That does not pass. So we're going to go to the next one. When the middle motion was 1.745, which was proposed by Councilor Sullivan, and that would represent a residential rate of $17.46. Nope. Yep. $17.46, and a commercial of $38.05. The clerk will call the roll. If you vote yes, you are voting for a rate of 1.745.
Sullivan?
Yes.
Bacon?
No.
Anderson Burgos?
Yes.
Bartley?
No.
Devine?
No.
Givner?
No.
Graney?
No.
Jordan?
No.
McGrath Smith?
Yes.
McGrath Smith?
Oh.
Yes.
Murphy Ramboletti,
Yes.
Ocasio,
No.
Rivera,
Yes.
5 yeas, 7 nays.
So that didn't pass. So we're going to go to the next one. This one is proposed by Councilor Jordan, and it is 1.75, which would bring the rate to residential $17.43, commercial $38.16. The clerk will call the roll. Make sure you say it very loudly if you're here in council chambers. And if you vote yes, you are voting for 1.75.
Sullivan,
No.
Bacon,
Yes.
Anderson Burgos,
No.
Bartley,
Yes.
Devine,
Yes.
Givner,
Yes.
Graney,
Yes.
Jordan,
Yes.
McGrath Smith,
Yes.
Murphy Ramboletti,
Yes.
Ocasio,
Yes.
Rivera.
Yes.
10 yeas, 2 nays.
Okay. With that, you have passed 1.75. So just to read into the record one more time, the residential is $17.43, and the commercial is $38.16. Thank you, everyone. All right. Now we will go back to the regular agenda unless I don't. I have a motion on 75. Thank you. My apologies. Hold on one sec. Sorry, Councilor Jordan, what'd you say?
I wanted to do one more suspension if you have a moment. To do the
Yes,
proclamation for Helene.
For sure. The only thing was that Jeffrey just reminded me we did have a
Yeah, motions to receive.
the motion was to receive on item 75.
Sounds good.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Okay, Councilor Jordan?
Yes, I wanted to suspend the rules to take up the proclamation for Helene Florio.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to suspend the rules, take up item 74 out of order. 74 is filed by Councilors Jordan and Sullivan, that the City Council present Helene Florio a proclamation celebrating her over 14 years of service leading the Holyoke Taxpayers Association as its president and executive director. She's recently announced her retirement from the role. Councilor Jordan, I actually had a, let's vote real quick to suspend the rules and take this out of order.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, Councilor
Can I be
Jordan?
added to that, please?
Sure.
Yeah, and
I'd like to add myself to that too, please. Councilor Graney.
And you could have Councilor Bartley as well.
Thank you.
Why don't we make it unanimous?
Is anyone opposed to being added to it? Okay. Great job. Councilor Jordan, anything you want to add?
No, just briefly, thank you everyone for being supportive of this for Helene. She's really a lovely, lovely person, cares very deeply and is very passionate about Holyoke. And she's just one of those, pillars of the community type people who, any city relies on to really serve as a civic foundation, if you will. And, I've gotten to really know her very well over the many years. She used to work for State Senator Knappich. And obviously, her and I have a lot in common. We both have a Yale football connection. Her son, Seamus, was on the team with my son, her grandson, I should say, Seamus Florio, who's an amazing kicker, by the way. He now plays for Boston College. Just a lovely, lovely family. Her and John are amazing people, and really thrilled to have this proclamation for her, so richly deserved. I know her and Lori Belanger and other members of the Hoya Taxpayer Association wanted to come down tonight, but due to the weather, it just didn't work out, as you know. So the hope is that we could pass this, and then if Counselor Devine would be kind enough to do the proclamation, as she always is.
Already done.
Oh,
Nice.
thank you, Patty. Appreciate that. And then I'd like to have a presentation. They were thinking at one of their upcoming Hoya Taxpayer Association meetings, and I'll certainly pass the word around to what that date is to everybody and the president. And I'm sure they would love to have you. So thank you for this honor for Helene.
Thank you very much. Thanks for filing it. Totally agree with everything you just said, and I think everyone else agrees for sure. And thank you, Counselor Devine, for being 12 steps ahead of us. Appreciate that. All right, on the motion to receive and adopt, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed?
Aye.
Okay, great. Okay, so we'll go back to the agenda. We have item number 3 is the minutes from November 18th.
Be received.
Motion to receive, these are the minutes from November 18th. Is there any discussion or corrections or anything? All right, thank you as always to Jeffrey and Brenna. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Let's see, I don't have anything for 4 and 5 unless I hear otherwise. So I have communications. We'll get into communications. Item number 6 is from the mayor. It's a letter appointing Marco Crescenti of 66 Fairfield Ave. I would actually entertain a motion.
I'm going to make that motion.
Okay, thank you, sir. I see your hand up. Councilor Anderson Burgos?
Yeah, I just wanted to make the motion to adopt on the floor. We already know this gentleman. He's actually the architect that's working on the new structure of the city council chambers. So we've already met him, and this he's only going to be filling to January 2026, which is we're not going to have another public service committee meeting. So I was just hoping that this body would just approve.
Yeah, I'll second it.
Okay, so the motion was made and seconded to suspend the rules and take final action on item number 6 and adopt this evening. Is there any other discussion? Okay, so all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, thank you, Counselor.
I guess, Madam President, I guess
Yes.
we could take 7, 8, 9, and 10 together as a package if you so desire and send them to
Second.
public service.
So the motion was made and seconded to suspend the rules, take items 7, 8, 9, and 10 as a package and send to public service. Item 7 is, these are all letters from the mayor. 7 is appointing Verna Nortez to serve on the Housing Authority. 8 is a letter appointing Mr. Joseph Charles Mazzola to the Local Historic District Commission, Fairfield Ave. 9 is a letter reappointing Anthony Diaz to the Valley Opportunity Council. And 10 is a letter reappointing Matteo Riondotto to the Local Historic District Commission. Is there any other discussion? Seeing none, on the motion to send to public service? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay.
Motion to receive item 13.
We did 11, we did 12. Motion to receive item 13. This is from our former auditor, the general fund and sewer enterprise fund year-to-date expense reports. Is there a second?
Motion to receive, second.
Okay, there's a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Motion to send 14 to finance for an item that's already in finance.
Okay. The motion's been made to send item 14 to finance with that will join something else that's in the committee. And this is a communication from Assistant City Engineer Victoria Houle, summary of typical traffic related costs. Motion's been made and seconded. Under discussion, Councillor Devine?
Yeah, I just wanted to compliment Victoria. She works really, really hard, and this summary is very helpful, and she's just been great, and I just wanted to acknowledge that.
Nice. Anyone else? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Okay. And we've got item 15 is a petition of Cindy Eli of 17 Myrtle Ave for a special permit for a driveway in the front yard.
You
DGR?
received and sent to the city engineer?
Oh. It's got to go to the engineer. It has to go to DGR for a public hearing.
Right.
Okay.
We can send a copy to the engineer.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so I would entertain a motion to send this to DGR.
So moved.
Thank you. With a copy to the engineer. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. All right, we're going to head into committee reports. Item 16 is the Committee on Ordinance, to whom was referred an order that the ordinance for the Parking Advisory Committee be reviewed and updated based on discussion with PAC. Recommended that the order has been complied with. Before I hand it over to Councilor Rivera, Councilor Bacon, did you want to sign off on these orders in the jacket?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Councilor Rivera.
Gracias. Can we take up 16 and 17 as a package?
Sure.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to suspend the rules, take items 16 and 17 up as a package. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 17 is the Committee on Ordinance, to whom was referred a communication from Laura Wilson, Chair of the Parking Advisory Board. Also recommended that the order has been complied with. Councilor Rivera.
Thank you. So at our last ordinance committee, we had some members of the Parking Advisory Committee in, as well as Laura Wilson, and they were bringing in a couple things to our attention. I think one is they would like to have a chance to restructure the makeup of the body, if possible. They've been having an issue getting a quorum and being able to get meetings together with regards to the way the makeup of the body is. There's 2 counselors who we meet a lot already on different occasions, and there's other people that are kind of forced to be on the board just by design. So they're going to take a stab at trying to redesign or restructure it and then come back to the council so that way we can have that conversation. But then there's the other piece of that they haven't gotten any parking orders to them, so they're not necessarily doing any work. So they were wondering if there was any purpose to us having the advisory committee. Some of us councilors, well, most of us stressed and said that there is more than likely a purpose. It's just that we should actually be sending orders directly to you guys with regards to parking instead of sending them to ordinance or sending them to public safety. So with that being said, we've been in communication. I mean, Jeff has been in communication with me and letting me know, our administrative assistant, that he'll set up a folder in our Google Drive that we have, and then that moving forward, when we file orders around parking, that we make sure that it gets sent to the parking folder where they're able to access it and review them and then go over them and then give us recommendations. The recommendations will more than likely go to a subcommittee. More than likely it would be ordinance if it's an ordinance change, or public safety if it's just to go over and just hear out different concerns or whatnot. But just like any other committee, there should be recommendations that come from them as an advisory committee. There is more details too, as well as the potential of combining or working together alongside with the Bike and Ped Committee, as well as the Disabilities Commission, just because they're all working with parking. But it did come out that they all have their own independent structures too as well. So this is just the beginning of the conversation, I feel like, but the order was complied with in the fact that we were able to address some of the concerns, have the conversation, and allow them the space to be heard. And if there's any other counselors that are a part of the committee that were present that would like to chime in and express any other things that I may have missed, feel free to do so.
Thank you, Counselor. Anyone else want to add? Counselor Givner.
Thank you, Madam President. I just wanted to add that I know the Bike and Pedestrian Committee is interested in taking part in more discussions around parking, traffic, etc. So anytime you need them, I'm sure they'd be happy to be present or chime in.
Thank you.
All right. Not seeing any other discussion on this. On the motion that these two orders have been complied with, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. 18 is ordinance to whom was referred an order that the city approve of a sidewalk easement for Holyoke Gas and Electric adjacent to parcel 3614, which is 150 Race Street, for the purposes of installation of electrical conduit. Recommended that the order be adopted. Councilor Rivera?
Thank you. So we had a representative from Holyoke Gas and Electric in at our last ordinance meeting. I believe it was Joe Zwerko, and they had received, or the city had received, a grant around installing two new, I believe it was two charging stations on Race Street. They did surveys throughout the community, trying to figure out where would be the best places. They did communicate with residents and property owners within that area to be able to install that. Being that the location where they're going to install it is, I think, under HRA control, which means it's the city's, in just layman's terms. So being that they need, Holyoke Gas and Electric needs to get an easement from the city to be able to install it there. So they came forward. Pretty much it was voted and approved on. Councilor McGrath just walked out, but they said it was a level 2 charger, and I think that she can have more complex conversations around what a level 2 charger is and what it does, because she has an electrical car. I haven't gotten that far yet, but yeah, it sounds like it'd be something good for the neighborhood, especially the way the neighborhood is changing its landscape. Kind of fits right in now. But yeah, if there's any questions.
Yeah, so just make the motion, if you would. Motion?
I was just making, just allowing anyone else to chime in, but.
Well, you got to make just make a motion to prove it, right?
Yeah.
Motion to pass the first read?
No, we don't have to do that because it's not an ordinance
what are we
change.
doing
Just
here?
motion that the order be adopted.
You have to grant the easement, yeah. Is that?
Yeah.
Okay, so the motion that the order be adopted.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Is there a second?
Yes.
Under discussion, did anyone have anything to add?
Nope.
Okay. So on the motion to adopt the easement, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. Item 19 is the Committee on Ordinance, to whom was referred an order that the city enact the proposed short-term rental ordinance approved by the Planning Board. It's recommended that the order be referred to the full council without recommendation. Councilor Rivera.
Thank you. Yes, so for this one, if I recall correctly, I could be wrong because I'm not clear. I'm a little vague on this particular one, but I think that is the time with regards to us addressing this had expired, and there were different other things that came up. So we had to, we pretty much have to go back, file it again, and work on this document, or working on getting this this piece of work done. But to me, in my opinion, I believe it should have been left to withdraw, but it is what it is. I went with it, and we sent it forward to full council without recommendation. That's pretty much it.
Okay, I see Councilor Bacon's hand and then Councilor McGrath-Smith.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So because as the chair rightly pointed out, we had an issue with giving proper notice about the public hearings, because it was required, because we had to start over. And initially, it was thought that notice was not needed. So we have closed the public hearing, And my understanding is Jeffrey will send out the proper notices and then we'll be able to take up the planning board recommendation again. Thank you.
Okay. Councilor McGrath Smith, and perhaps you might have a motion, or anyone.
I'll make a motion to receive.
Motion to receive.
I'll
the committee
second that.
report. Under discussion, Councilor McGrath Smith.
Thank you, Madam President. I just wanted to name that effectively the planning board had already continued to do more work on it because they had received state guidance. So the plan that we were looking at needed to be changed. And so there was a conversation around can we change it in ordinance with the planning board, because so many of their members did join in that meeting. But the problem was the timing. But also, just so the council knows, they have been continuing to work on it. And so a new draft will be coming forward soon. I know that we have a lot of folks across the city who either are Airbnb owners, they are doing these short-term rentals, or we have neighbors who are maybe concerned that they don't know if there's Airbnbs near them, or they would love to see a way for the city, for example, to require them to be registered. So this is something that we know that people the public's concerned about. We are working on it. It's not dead-ended. It's just the next version will be coming from the planning board soon, and we'll take it up and go through the process.
Thank you, Councilor. So the motion was to receive the committee report. Seeing no other discussion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Item 20 is the Committee on Ordinance, to whom was referred an order that a do not block the box be painted on Northampton and West Franklin Street. It's recommended that the order has been complied with. Councilor Rivera.
I believe this has already been done, and that's why the order has been complied with. Victoria Hool, I hope I said it correctly, in different ordinance meetings, usually she'll come forward with a variety of different traffic, or we call them traffic orders that come forward, and she'll present and give us communication. And I believe a couple meetings ago they gave us a communication regarding this particular one, so we took it up just to go through the process as it's done and complied with.
Okay. I would entertain a motion that the order's been complied with.
Second.
Second.
Any other discussion? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
So moved. Thank you, ordinance.
Madam President?
Yes, Councilor
Wonder-
Grime.
To save a little time, could we take up items 21 through 30 as a package and pass the first reading?
Items 21 through, 30. Okay.
And pass the first reading.
And pass the first reading. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. So we're just voting to suspend the rules and take items 21 through 30 as a package. We'll vote on that first. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Well,
Okay.
And to pass the first reading. So you want me to read them? I will read them.
Okay.
21 is a transfer for $5,000 from building custodian to R&M Buildings and Grounds. This is recommended that the order has been adopted. 22 is the Committee on Finance, a transfer request of $300,000 in firefighter to overtime. Recommended that the order be adopted. 23 is a transfer request for $155,000 from the sale of real estate to capital outlay buildings. 24 is finance, that the City Council hereby accept the provisions of the Mass Trails Program Grant, Connecticut River Pathway, $239,000, $61,000 cash match. And that is recommended that the order be adopted. 25 is the Committee on Finance, a transfer request of $61,000 from Smart Growth Zoning Grant to Mass Trails Program Grant, Connecticut River Pathway. And that's a grant match. And that's recommended that the order be adopted. 26 is finance, that the City Council accept the provisions of the fiscal year 26 Municipal Road Safety Program, $45,000, no match. And that's recommended that the order be adopted. 27 is that the City Council accept the provisions of the fiscal year 26 Edward J. Byrne Memorial Justice Assistant Grant Program, $18,344, no match. Recommended that the order be adopted. 28 is finance, that the City Council hereby accept the provisions of the fiscal year 26 State 911 Department Emergency Medical Dispatch Grant Program, $24,500, no match, and that's recommended that the order be adopted. 29 is a communication from, it's in finance, communication from City Solicitor Lisa Ball, settlement by and between the City of Holyoke, NAGE, R1 180 Clerical Union, recommended that the order be received. And then 30 is a transfer request of $729,633, and it is taken from the auditor, professional accountant, HPD, assistant treasurer NAGE, senior deputy tax collector, assistant tax collector NAGE, treasurer overtime, purchasing longevity, treasurer longevity, voter longevity, building codes longevity, library longevity, war memorial longevity, reference library assistant NAGE, reference library assistant NAGE, part-time, reference librarian NAGE, reference librarian part-time NAGE, senior reference librarian NAGE, children's librarian NAGE, senior children's librarian, cataloger NAGE, library custodian NAGE, library senior custodian NAGE, computer coordinator NAGE, collection dev librarian, collection development librarian NAGE. And that is recommended that the order be adopted. So the motion was to pass the first reading. Counselor Devine?
Yeah, and so if we go through each one of these, excuse me, item number 21, this was requested by Laddie at the War Memorial. The cleaning service that was being used, it's for a cleaning service because the regular custodian had some long-term illnesses, so and he resigned. So the position is now posted, and this transfer will keep the maintenance up to par and up to date.
You want to keep going with
Okay, and let's see, item 22. 22 is the overtime for the Holyoke Fire Department. Chief Katalevich was in, and he needed to move money over to hire more people, but he hired 7, but only 3 were qualified with the physical, etc. Just hired 8, hoping that they could start in January. They were down to about 14, so the $300,000 was good through the fiscal year. And unfortunately, with these last 2 fires, I'm sure that's where that's going to get used.
Mm-hmm.
Did you want me to continue?
Yeah, if we're going to take them up as a package, that's fine.
Okay, item number 23, Leslie Ward from the Building Department addressed 115 Newton Street. A fire occurred there October 19th. It's a city-owned property that Leslie has been trying to get demolished, especially since vagrants have been in there, and she wants to make sure that they're out of the building. And since this is a city-owned property, it needs to use city money. I'll take care of that. And then let's see. Item 24 and 25 together. This is the Mass Trails Grant Award. And let me just get my notes here. Aaron Vega was in, and he did a great job in explaining this. There we go. Okay, and what this is it's a detached description of and use of the $239,000 Mass Trails Program Connecticut River Pathway Grant, and 25 is the $61,000 which they'll be using as a match. And the reason they can do that is because they had this money left over from when Lyman Terrace was done. And this is going to be going from the second and third grant use this planning time to continue work from Main Street to Springdale Park, hoping to complete the street project to take care of infrastructure and sidewalk improvements. The $61,000 was received when Lyman Terrace was redone for housing zoning overlay district. That takes care of those two. Let's see. Okay, so 26 and 27 and 28. Sergeant Zerhide was in. $45,000 would be used for 2 officers. One would be, they would be at a traffic, they're looking for traffic violations. They would radio the other officer. One officer would be in one spot, the other officer would be in another. And historically, the HPD has received this grant for many years. Chief Keenan and Sergeant Bartolome keep track of the violations. As you know, we do receive these records from Sergeant Bartolome. Item number 27, able to purchase 5 more laptops that can be used remotely. Purchase and training less than lethal systems, training with protective shields in cars so they don't have to wait to get them from Springfield. And then item number 28, emergency medical dispatch grant. If the 911 calls come in and are and need medical advice, the dispatchers at the Holyoke Police Department forward that to Cataldo Ambulance for instructions to the caller. Some of the Holyoke Police Departments are qualified, but not enough manpower for the minimum staffing levels. So that's that. And then we have, let's see, is that Nage, the next one?
Would be, I think you just did 27.
Okay, so let me get 28. Madam President, could you just read that one?
Yeah, that's the State 911 Department Emergency Medical Dispatch. And that's
the
you
one I
just,
just
I
did.
apologize, you did just do that one.
Yeah.
Thanks, Councilor Rivera. Yeah, so then 29.
29 and 30?
Yep.
Okay, that would be the Nage contract, and let me grab my notes here. Okay. Attorney Ball and Sergeant Bartholomew talked about this. They removed all the police dispatchers and put them in their own union because they really weren't part of the library. Let's see, they're all part of their collective bargaining unit. Union found recognition, got 2% in 2025, but they won't get it till 2026. They added a probationary period. They added 15-minute paid breaks, what they didn't have, and they added longevity, $400, 5 to 10 years, adjusted for vacation, and then not 5 days, but 15 days if you were there less than 5 years. No longer buybacks of any vacation less than 20 days. Sick leave adjusted earned at 1.25 days. Bereavement, 5 days instead of 4, adding the grandmother, grandfather to that. And the 3-year contract would be 2%, 2.5%, and 2.5% from 726 to 727 and 728. And then it was a 4-0 to approve the transfer.
Thank you, Councilor. Is there other discussion? Councilor Sullivan.
Yeah, I would just like to point out to everybody on item number 23, this is the $155,000 transfer for the demolition of one small building. So this is just an example of what we discussed earlier when we set the tax rate about the burden on the taxpayers and where it rests. This is a 3 to 5 day project. All right, a properly funded demolition supervisor in the DPW, right? This one project alone would have paid that person's salary for an entire year, all right? And including his salary for a proper salary for an entire year to hire a proper person in there. And the cost of all the associated demolition. And it would have still come in at half the price of what we just went through. So right away, here we go. This is an example of what I'm looking forward to, hoping this council can begin to start to address in the next term.
Thank you, Counselor. All right, I'm not seeing any other discussion. So the motion was made and seconded to pass the first reading. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Motion to pass the second reading.
Motion to pass the second reading. Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
The clerk will call the roll. If you vote yes, you are voting to adopt items 21 through 30.
Sullivan,
Yes.
Anderson Burgos,
Yes.
Bartley. Oh, Bartley left. Divine,
Yes.
Gardner,
Yes.
Graney,
Yes.
Jordan,
Yes.
McGrath Smith,
Yes.
Murphy Ramboletti,
Yes.
Nicasio,
Yes.
Rivera,
Yes.
Did you get Counselor Bacon?
I was just gonna say, I think I missed Counselor Bacon, I'm sorry.
You did.
Yes.
Unanimous vote.
Okay, with that, you've passed those and saved us a lot of time, so thank you on that motion.
Madam President?
Yes,
If we could
Counselor
take
Devine.
up 31 and 32 together, they're both communications, and they were received in finance.
Motion was to suspend the rules, take up items 31 and 32 as a package. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, and then the motion was that these be received.
Yeah, and
Motion's been made and seconded. Under discussion, anything you want to add, Counselor Devine?
the only thing, 31 is about the chamber renovations, and 32 is the minutes from the health benefit meeting, minutes in September 8th.
Thank you. So yes, 31 is a communication about the chamber renovations. 32 is the minutes from the health benefit meeting on September 8th. These are both recommended that they be received. Is there any other discussion? Right,
Can I ask
yeah, I'm sorry. Councilor McGrath Smith.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My question, and again, I will go back and I will watch that section of the meeting because I wasn't able to. But given that we have made this shift with how that we're handling our healthcare expenses as a city, but also seeing the increase of 9% in premiums this year, based on the letter that we got today. I would love to know if the Finance Committee is feeling positively about the shift that we made, or if there's, increasing concerns about that shift.
Was that for the chair or just
The chair or other members of the committee who
I didn't
desire
get
to weigh in?
a letter that you're talking about. Was that in our packet?
I was just referring to item 75 when that was brought up earlier in the letter. Said that our healthcare premiums for the city were going up 9% as one of the reasons why the budget itself, is growing, and that total is over $500,000, $661,000. So I was just wondering if that had come up as because I saw that item come up with the healthcare minutes.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Seeing no other discussion on the motion that these 31 and 32 be received, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so moved. 30, thank you, Finance. That was a lot, and we appreciate your time. 33 is the Committee on Public Safety. Councilor Rivera, Jenny Rivera, is not here. And I don't know if anyone on her committee is prepared to address these items, or if you'd like to leave them on the table for now.
I'm prepared.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't know if anyone had got it. Okay.
Okay.
So do you want to...
If we want to take them up as a package, it would be from item 34 through 38.
Okay, so let's do 33 first.
Okay.
and that is the Committee on Public Safety, to whom was referred a communication from our Director of Conservation Sustainability. It's a Holyoke Mitigation Plan update, and that is recommended that the plan and resolution be adopted. Councilor Devine?
Yeah, that was Yoni from the Conservation Department was in, and he's incredible. That's all I can say is he's absolutely incredible, and what his knowledge base is just unbelievable. And he was here, and or he could have been online, I don't remember, but he was very, very good, and I certainly trust whatever he says because he really knows his stuff.
Thank you. Do I see any other discussion on this item? Yoni, if you're watching, we are not worthy. All right. On the motion, we're going to do a roll call vote because it's a resolution that we need to adopt. But it's recommended that the motion was that the plan and resolution be adopted. The clerk will call the roll. If you vote yes, you are voting to approve item 33.
Sullivan,
Yes.
Bacon,
Yes.
Anderson Burgos,
Yes.
Devine,
Yes.
Givner,
Yes.
Rainey,
Yes.
Bourdain,
Yes.
McGrath Smith,
Yes.
Murphy Ramboletti,
Yes.
Ocasio,
Yes.
Rivera,
Yes.
unanimous vote.
Thank you. With that, you have passed the resolution in item 33. And then, Councilor Devine, you
Do we want to take up item 34 through 38 as a package?
okay?
Second.
The motion's been made and seconded to suspend the rules, take up items 34 through 38. 34, I'll just read them briefly, and then we'll vote to suspend the rules. So 34 is public safety, that in order that Old Bassett Road be paved by the city of Holyoke, it's recommended that the order be adopted and copied to the mayor with a request to appropriate funding for an overlay and that the city begin the process of accepting the road. 35 is from public safety, that Cedar Hill Road be accepted as a public road. And that is recommended that the order be adopted and copied to the mayor with a request to appropriate funding for a full depth paving. 36 is public safety, a petition from residents on Brookwood Road to accept as a public way, and that's recommended that the order be adopted. 37 is public safety, an order that West Cherry be paved by the city of Holyoke. That's recommended that the order be adopted and copied to the mayor with a request to appropriate funding for paving. And 38 is public safety, an order that DPW engineer HG&E come to a city council meeting to explain why there are meters in the front of buildings and homes. Recommended that the order has been complied with. On the motion to suspend the rules and take these up as a package, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, Councilor Devine, do you want to give Councilor McGrath Smith, you have your hand up before that? Okay,
I
Councilor
was
McGrath
going to
Smith.
compliment her,
Oh, okay.
but I won't now that you had your hand up.
Councilor McGrath Smith?
I just wanted to clarify one thing here, which
Sure.
is out of committee, number 35, what the committee voted for was that it not be accepted as a public road, but be paved. I just wanted that to be really clear because it does not read that way in this order.
Okay. So do you want to make an amendment?
Just the order that was adopted out of council or out of the committee meeting was that it would not be accepted as a public way, but would be paved.
Okay.
So I just wanted to make that clear.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Councilor Devine?
Yeah, 34, I just wanted to compliment Meg. She's been working hard on this. And along with myself, we're trying really hard to get that approved and paved. It is a road that is just so hard to get up to. And the people that live up there have been wonderful. And what we're trying to do is maybe try to get it paved a little bit more than it is. It's also they're very lucky. The city plows. The city picks up their trash. The only problem is there's a little problem that the fire department can only get a certain truck up there. Can't get a ladder truck up there. But nonetheless, we're working on it. We're trying lots of different things. And I believe it's also gone to state rep and state senator to try. So, yeah.
Thank you. Do you want to give any other updates? I think those covered all of the things that you were
Yeah,
talking
they
about,
really
but-
are.
Yeah.
Item number 37, that is a long street, so I'm not sure when that can be done.
Yep.
If anything. But, and let's see. The other one, 38's been complied with. And I just want to thank my partner in crime, Meg McGrath Smith, because she's got a lot of information.
Thank you. I have Councilor Rivera and then Councilor Givner.
Yes, thank you, Patty, for that. Considering Councilor Jenny Rivera is not present, we appreciate you trying to summarize some of that. So a lot of the ones, and again, I want to thank Councilor Meg McGrath Smith too as well, and Patty for working diligently for their constituents, especially in those communities of Ward 7 and around. A lot of these roads are private roads, right? And the reason why it's being brought forward is because the city technically does not have to pave them at the moment. To find a happy medium for some of them, at the moment, we decided to say, hey, let's request from the mayor to pave these, right, as their taxpayers. Let's help them out in that sense, right? And not necessarily help them out. Let's utilize their tax funds in a way that benefits them. But ultimately, it's a larger process to accept some of these streets as streets. And some of it can be a way more costly process than just paving it. As one of the items that was listed, you'd have, before accepting it as a street, we'd have to bring the street up to par so that it could be accepted as a street. That may mean taking some land. That may mean investing a significant amount of money into that road to bring it up to par so that it can then become a city road. So I think we as a committee felt like the happy medium at the situation or for the circumstances, let's try to get these people the road paved for now. And in the long term, I believe Councilor McGrath Smith and Councilor Patty Devine will continue to work on trying to find the best avenues, and as well as working with the mayor to trying to find resources on how best to approach this. Just because there are so many roads just in that particular community that has to deal with all of this. And if we were to look throughout the whole city, there's probably a bunch more other roads. So I appreciate you guys bringing that forward, and it makes sense for us to continue working towards that in the future. I just kind of wanted to expand a little bit more on.
Thank you. I have Councilor Givner and then Councilor McGrath Smith.
Thank you, Madam President. Councilor Rivera answered questions. I was going to apologize for not making it to that meeting because my like antennas went up when you said we wanted to pave it, but we didn't want to accept it as a city street. But it makes a lot of sense to appease the taxpayers without having to widen the street, put in whatever runoff stuff is required. So when you mentioned that was very insightful. So I can support this. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor McGrath Smith.
Just as a point of information, I wanted to point out that this has been discussed for over 2 years, and came from work that Chris Baker had done, and that a number of engineers have looked at since, and that the streets that are on this are all in the top 8 worst rated streets that are private ways, and Brookwood itself. Up until last year, the city fully believed it was a city road until the state contacted us and said that they were going to pull the bridge off of the state inspection list because they didn't have proof that the city had ever done what they needed to do formally in legal documents in order to take the road. But the city believed all along that it had. So in that case, that road was on the paving list and then was removed once we discovered that the state no longer allowed us to use Chapter 90 funding for it, and it was in the top 3 worst roads in the city. So clearly we know these roads are in bad shape, and I completely understand, folks being concerned about private ways versus public roads, but the reality is that we have taxpayers who are living on these roads, and it's not something that is easy for 13 households to somehow go in on a joint construction project together to repave their road. This is something that just grinds everything to a halt, and then folks haven't had a paved road in 30 years or 40 years in the case of some of these roads. I do just want to thank Mike Gallagher and the DPW team for all of the work they are doing, even on these private roads, to try to make them passable, because we have our requirement at the state level that roads have to be at least basically passable from fire, police, ambulance, right? They have to be able to have some emergency service access. But the reality is that some of these roads have been patched and repatched. Like, they've done everything they can for so long that the roads themselves are just deteriorating. And so there's little to be done at this point other than really paving them, and in a good way. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Madam Chair?
Yes, Councilor Greeny.
Could we move the question, please?
That was my next step. Thank you. All right, on the motion that these items have to accept the committee reports, and I think that was it. This is, as a reminder, this is 34 through 38. On the motion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you. And that moves us on to public service. Thank you to the public safety crew for picking it up for Jenny. Appreciate that. And before I hand it over and start going into the public service reports, all 3 members of the committee, you are all Zooming in. So are you okay
Yes.
to sign off on these orders here?
Yeah, Councilor Graney says signing me off.
Thank you. And Councilor Ocasio?
Yes.
All right. Thank you all. Okay, so 39 is the Public Service Committee, communication from the mayor appointing David Owen to serve on the Local Historic District Commission. It's a 3-year term expiring July 2028. Recommended that the appointment be confirmed. Councilor Anderson Burgos.
Yep, so I'll be very brief like I normally am. So Mr. Owens has lived in Holyoke over 8 years. He's also over 40 years of architectural project management. He's also very familiar to the history of Holyoke, which was very impressive to me. And one of the missions he has is improving the CPA is one of the main focus he has, which is nice to hear. So it was recommended that the appointment be confirmed with 3 out of 0 out of committee. If any of the committee members would like to speak on this item, please feel free to do so now.
You covered everything, Anderson.
Thank you.
Would that be a motion to confirm the appointment?
Yeah.
Awesome. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All right, on the motion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. Thank you. 40 is public service, an order from Deb Brunel, the assessor, a request to appoint Grant Schlosstein to Board of Assessors. Recommended that the order has been complied with. Councilor Anderson Burgos.
Yep, so we met with Mr. Schlosstein. He has been a resident from Holyoke for over 27 years. Has been a real estate attorney for over 20 years. He's also, which was very interesting, he was interested in replacing the current chief assessor if and when she retires, which he basically was telling us that he's in it for the long run, and that was refreshing to hear in the committee. This order was complied with. Obviously, we all are already aware of the circumstances of how this all unfolded. And right now, before I motion, if any of the committee members would like to speak on this order, please do so now.
Anyone else? All right, I'll entertain a motion.
Okay, so the motion was complied with and it came out of committee 3-0.
Thank you.
Second.
There's a second on the motion that this has been complied with. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Yeah, Madam President, I would like to take up as a package item 4 through 6.
I'm assuming you mean 41, 42.
Oh, sorry, yes, 41, yes.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm looking at agenda
And-
41, 42, and 43.
Okay, perfect. 41 through 43, the motion was made to suspend the rules and take 41, 42, 43 together as a package. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, 41 is public service, in order that the city council develop a vision statement that outlines the council's goals and aspirations for the community. Recommended that the order be referred to Development and Government Relations. 42 is that the city council develop a list of core values developed and supported by all individual councilors. Recommended that the order be referred to Development and Government Relations Committee. And 43 is excuse me, that the city council develop a mission statement focused on key priorities such as community focus, inclusive decision-making, fiscal responsibility, and transparency and accountability, sustainable development. Recommended that the order be referred to the Development and Government Relations Committee. Councilor Anderson Burgos.
Yes, thank you, Madam President. So it was briefly talked about or discussed in committee. And not just the maker, but myself, we and the committee, we all felt that this was, the weight of this order deserved a larger body present. So we felt that there was only three committee members in public service, and we felt that it would be better off served in a committee such as DGR. I will like to allow the maker of the order to weigh in if he'd like to.
He has his hand up. Please hold.
Perfect.
Councilor Rivera.
Yeah, so thank you, and I wholeheartedly agree in moving it to DGR. Two reasons. One is because there is already somewhat of a document that I put together that was shared at that committee. Hopefully it would be shared amongst everyone so that when it does go to DGR, there is somewhat of a foundation or something formulated in your brain as to what direction we're trying to move as a or not direction, but at least to start the conversation so that we can start moving in a direction. It would make sense if we all kind of chimed in, so that way we can do this as stated, as a larger conglomerate, as a council. It would suck to just have only a couple people chime in, because then it wouldn't necessarily be to the intent that we're trying to get it to, where everyone is involved. I've been trying to do this for quite some time because it doesn't necessarily make sense that we as a council don't have a mission and a vision. Maybe not everyone agrees, but just appreciate that was taken up and that it will get moved over, and hopefully we get started on it. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm not seeing any other discussion. So on the motion that these orders be referred to Development and Government Relations, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. And then 44. Okay, that was public service, so thank you. Also, before I head to the DGR, Councilor Ocasio and Councilor Anderson Burgos, do you want to sign these orders?
Yes,
that are
yes.
here? Okay, thank you. All right, moving forward, 44 is the Committee on Development and Government Relations, in order that the city change the use of the lot at the corner of Adam and South Summer Street from being a 24-hour parking to a residential parking from 5 p.m. to 7 a.m. Morgan School staff parking from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's recommended that the order be adopted, copied to DPW to install signage, and copied to HPD for enforcement. Councilor Givner?
Thank you, Madam President. This was one of the items taken up that wasn't on the agenda, but it was on it was administratively laid on the table, I believe. And we took it off the table and discussed it. It seems like it makes a lot of sense. The concern, and Councilor Ocasio may want to speak on this, but the concern was that there's people using the parking lot for things other than just parking, and they're leaving vehicles there for, days on end, weeks on end. There's people working on their cars in that parking lot, when the Morgan School staff could really better use the space, and the residents there could better use the space during the hours that they work and live there. So we thought it was a good idea, and we're hoping to get it pushed through. So, but yeah, maybe Councilor Ocasio wanted to add something. I'm not sure.
I see Councilor Sullivan's hand. Councilor Sullivan?
Yeah, excuse me, I didn't get a chance to discuss it with the chair, and maybe Jeffrey can help me out on this, but just recently some other problems came to light where it may require an ordinance change, and because of the parking permits, who would get the permits, it's going to be a problem for the joint committee or the school department also, because there's going to be more teachers or employees there than there's spaces to assign, so it's a little more complicated than we originally thought.
Okay.
Jeff, did I get that straight?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah, I spoke with Mike Gallagher following this coming out of committee, and yeah, he explained that because it's a public lot, an ordinance would have to be adopted to install the signs, but because it would be in a school lot, it would be important to have the school officials be a part of that discussion. So the suggestion was that it be referred to the joint committee first in order to include them in that discussion and then go from there.
Do you want to amend? So would you like I would entertain a motion.
Motion to table?
No.
No, motion to
No.
refer to the joint
No.
joint schools.
My suggestion
Can I
would
speak?
Oh, Councilor, I'm sorry. Councilor Ocasio.
Okay, my original order was the first order, but I talked to DPW, Mr. What's his name? Is it Gallagher?
Yep, maybe.
From DPW, and we agree on not doing it the way I put the order in, but that he was going to figure out some signage to put up to make it easier for everybody. So that was the recommendation the last time we was at the meeting. And so far right now, the area right there, everybody, hasn't been no mechanic work there, but it's because it's the winter time. And I'm just afraid that it'll start all over again in the summertime. So he said that he was going to come up with some signage to put up. So my original order, I don't know how you do it, but to change it to, I don't know if it's complied with, so the Holyoke Police Department to enforce it.
Okay. I'm not.
I would. I would make an amendment to the unanimous approval to send it and request that it be sent to the joint school department and city council committee so that they could be in touch with the school and create the signage together with the school department.
Is there a second?
Can I say something now? Sorry.
Yes, Councilor Ocasio.
Councilor Anderson, Juan Anderson, have agreed that it would be a problem for people that work overnight, for the residents. So it'll be more complicated the way that I did the order. And I agree with him after he spoke on it, that it'll be better for just to put the signage up and just see how that works.
Can I just ask? I just have a question, more of a point of order or whatever. Can we install signage without? Do you need an ordinance change? I think that's what we were just trying to, like someone mentioned. Can you just install signage, or can we send it to a copy to DPW so that the folks from the school department can weigh in, and we send this to the joint committee? Or that was Councilor Rivera?
If I may, if it's okay, Councilor Ocasio, would you be okay with me filing another order to follow up and make sure that the signs and everything is done in a way that it makes sense? Because right now it sounds like we're kind of rechanging the whole order, so we might as well just file another order to request just that Gallagher come in and we chat if whether or not we could do the signage.
Okay.
Just because I know that in the flats next to One Holyoke, that street, Center Street, that beginning, they have that same situation with the permits, and that was literally a headache when Gladys was Ward 1 councilor. So I can imagine how much more of a headache is going to be in that parking lot if you're including the school district too as well.
Yes.
So I if you are okay with it, I don't know what you guys want to do.
100%.
I can
You
file.
can take over it.
I can file another order and follow up moving forward in the next term to make sure it follows through.
Okay.
That sounds good.
Awesome.
Okay.
Councilor Gibner.
Thank you.
Just for clarification, my understanding when it came out of committee is that we wanted signage to deter the use of the lot, not necessarily an ordinance change. I do think it's a good idea to include the school department. I'm happy you're gonna file a new order, but the idea coming out of committee was that we understood that it was a lot to change everything, but we didn't want an ordinance change. We just wanted to deter people from fixing their cars in the lot, make space for the teachers to park during the day and the residents to park at night.
Right, but what Jeffrey said was that Mike Gallagher confirmed that in order to install such signage, you need to pass an ordinance change.
All right, well, that's what it is.
So I'm still waiting. Your motion was to send to the joint school committee. Is that still the motion?
That's still my motion, if that's
Councilor
supported.
Sullivan?
Yeah, I just want to leave intact and copied to the HPD for enforcement, because there's nothing to stop right now from them enforcing the people that are using that parking lot for doing car repairs.
Amen to that. All right, so
Yeah.
recommended that the order be sent to the joint schools and city council, and that a copy be sent to DPW and HPD for enforcement. And, all right,
Also that Israel Rivera will be filing another order.
Yep.
That's what you're gonna. Okay.
Yep, perfect. All right, all those in favor? Any opposed?
Aye.
So moved. All right, 45 is the Development Government Relations Committee, an order. OPED, please provide status on 245 High Street. Recommended that the order has been complied with. Councilor Givner.
Thank you, Madam President. So, this was another one of the items taken off the table. I think, this is a building that's across the street here, and the windows have been boarded up, so I think, this was unanimously complied with because it's already been taken care of. But yeah, Councilor Sullivan, if you'd like.
Do you have your hand up? Okay, all right. Did you have your hand up, Councilor Sullivan?
Nope, I'm all set. All we have to do is look out here, and the boards and plywood has been removed, and they're working on the building, so.
Councilor Rivera.
My apologies. So with regards to that other one, I'll follow the order, right? But that has to be sent to the Parking Advisory Committee too as well.
What has to be sent to the
That-
parking
that-
advisory? The last order?
The last order with the parking lot.
Okay, so I need a motion.
Motion to send.
No, because we already voted on it. So I
Okay,
need a
my bad.
motion to
Reconsider.
our action and on item 44 and add that we send a copy to the Parking Advisory Committee. Is that right?
Yes, correct. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, that's been seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, and then 45, I'm not seeing any other discussion on 45, so recommended that the order has been complied with. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, do you want to take 46 through 50 as a package?
Sure.
Second.
Okay, the motion was made and seconded to suspend the rules, take items 46 through 50 as a package. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 46, these are all being given a leave to withdraw. 46 is an order that the mayor and community development department fund the following project with either CDBG or ARPA funds. The asphalt double sidewalk located on west side of South Elm Street. 47 is an order that the DGR committee be provided a list of all special permits issued by the council, include a 5-year look back on how many permits have been issued. 48 is that the per business owner request that a 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. loading zone with signage be created at 414 High Street. 49 is the Committee on Government Relations, that the mayor consider appointing an affordable housing commission using the guidelines in proposed House Bill 2747. And 50 is recommended that the city engineer and DPW develop and install safety measures for passenger cars, trucks, and motorcycles in the vicinity of Holyoke's canals. All of these have been given a leave to withdraw. Councilor Givner.
Thank you, Madam President. So 46 was complied with. I'm sorry. 46 was giving a leave to withdraw. So all of these were given leave to withdraw because they've been in committee for so long. Some of these projects have been done, others have not. This one I don't remember there being a lot of discussion about this one because I don't have a lot of notes about it. So I'm not sure if anyone else in the committee remembers, but I don't think this was done. 47, the 5-year look back, that was, that was Councilor Murphy Romboletti, and I think that was given leave to withdraw because it had been tabled so many times, and we felt like if we still wanted to have that, it could be refiled because it's the end of a term. 48, the 10 to 6 loading zone. We had concerns about all the different business owners wanting a loading zone directly in front of their businesses, considering this building and business, along with others, a lot of them have access through their alleys or their back doors. 49, the Affordable Housing Commission was given leave to withdraw. No one was there to speak on that. It's been in committee for quite some time. There has been some work on the locally to create like a renters' rights office in City Hall. So we felt like this is being worked on, and it was given leave to withdraw. The canal protective measures, most of those have been installed. And so that was 50. And 51, the 5 college discussion about supporting.
We just did up to 50.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. Thank you. And this is a great time to remind folks that the rules, we did pass a new rule that says that if you do want to continue your orders to the next term, if you're staying for another term, Jeffrey will be compiling a list of all the orders. I'll just file another order. But just a reminder, that's a new rule change. So with that, is there any other discussion on these? Councilor McGrath-Smith?
No, ma'am. I was raising my hand for after we move.
Oh, I apologize. All right. Anyone else? All right, on the motion to give these leave to withdraw, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
So moved. All right, item 51 is Committee on Development and Government Relations, that the City Council invite representatives of Holyoke Community College, Westfield State, the 5 colleges to discuss ways they could better support a path for Holyoke youth to gain equitable access within these schools. Recommended that the order be referred to Joint City Council and School Committee. Counselor Counselor Givner.
It's still me. Thank you, Madam President. So this has been in DGR for some time, and we haven't pulled a good meeting together, but we felt like it would be better suited in the Joint School and City Council Committee. So yeah, that was that.
Okay. Counselor McGrath-Smith, was this for, no, okay. I just wanted to make sure I don't skip you.
We're not there yet.
Got it. Any other discussion? All right, and so this is recommended that the order be referred to Joint City Council and School Committee. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. We're going to move on to motions, orders, and resolutions, and we're doing so great on time, and it's been a really long day, so if it's going to committee, we don't have to discuss it to death. 52 is filed by Councilor McGrath-Smith, ordered that an ordinance be drafted regulating the number of cars that can be parked on a residential property. Councilor McGrath-Smith.
Thank you. I would love to motion for that to go to ordinance, but I also have another, just to reconsider from something earlier.
Okay. Okay.
Handle that.
So why don't we, we'll send this to ordinance first. Item 52 to go to ordinance. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Councilor McGrath-Smith.
If we could just reconsider 34 and 36 really quick. We just, they were taken up as a package, and I just realized that we need to name specifically that 34 and 36. This is for Brookwood and Old Bassett. We just need to refer them to the Board of Public Works and the Planning Board.
All right, so the motion is to reconsider our action on 34 and 36 and send to, still adopt the committee report, but send to, sorry.
The Board of Public Works and the Planning Board.
The Board of Public Works and the Planning Board. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you for catching that. That passes. Okay, back to the agenda. 54 is filed by Councilor Ocasio. Ordered that a "Don't Block the Box" be painted at the corner of South Summer Street and Adams Street, both sides. Cars parking at the corner makes it difficult for fire trucks to turn. Do we send these to public safety, or do you guys remember?
Mr. MacGyver from DPW was at the meeting, and he said that he was going to look into this. But the reason why I put this order in was because lately the fire alarm's been going off around my area. So every time, I'm always out the window when the alarms go off. So I see the fire trucks trying to turn in, and because of the cars being parked in both sides, it's making it very difficult for them to turn in from Adam into South Summer Street at the two corners. So, yeah, when the cars don't park correctly in those two corners, they have a hard time turning in. And that's a concern for the residents because every second counts.
Totally understand. I am just wondering where we are sending this to. Is it just a copy to DPW, or we don't need an ordinance change or anything, right? Okay, I would entertain a motion to send this to DPW.
And motion to send to DPW.
Second.
To get the painting done, and to put on the list when they have funds for painting.
Sounds good. So motion to send to DPW to add to the list for painting. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? All right, so moved. 55, filed by Councilor Ocasio. Order that DPW repaint again the street lines. They were painted 1 year ago and they are faded. Do you have a particular location or just citywide?
Basically, in all South Holyoke, some of the paintings, they're all gone. And when I put the order in, it was because right in front where I live, I talked to Mr. MacGyver from DPW, and he said that he was gonna repaint them when they get another chance.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna be city council, so if somebody can take up these two orders, 54 and 55, so they can move them forward.
Sure, we can.
I'll make a motion
Yeah,
to
you can-
receive, adapt, and send to DPW.
Yeah, and you can attach it to my name if you want.
Okay, we can add Councilor Rivera to item 55. And the motion was to receive, adopt, and send to DPW. It's been seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. 56 was filed by Councilor Rivera, that the Kestrel Land Trust, Conservation Department, and a representative from the Planning Board be invited to appear before the Development and Government Relations Committee to provide a comprehensive walkthrough of the steps, requirements, and processes necessary to designate Elmwood Forest as conservation land.
Motion
Send
to
to
send it to
DGR.
ordinance, or DGR, I'm sorry.
Send to DGR. Councilor Rivera, can I add myself to this?
Yes, anybody that wants to
I will
add
too.
themselves. Yes. We're here. We're a community.
Add Jamie to that, please.
Or does anyone opposed to being added to this? It doesn't want to be. Okay. Thank you, Counselor. All right. Send to DGR. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, 57 is filed by Councilor Rivera. Order that an Article 3 titled Community Response Division be added to Chapter 70, Social Services of the Code of Ordinances. Would you like me to read the whole thing?
Nah,
You
it's
received
okay.
and sent to ordinance?
Send to ordinance.
Okay.
Thank you.
It just for the purposes of the minutes, the purpose of Community Response Division shall be to develop, coordinate, and deliver holistic, community-centered services to residents most in need within the city of Holyoke. Send to ordinance. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. 58 was filed by Councilor Jenny Rivera. Ordered that the DPW install a handicap parking sign out for Oscar Rios of 12 Grover Street.
You received and sent to ordinance?
Receive and send to ordinance.
Copy to Disabilities Commission.
With the copy to the Disabilities Commission. Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. We did 59. 60 was filed by Councilor Bartley. Constituent request, second filing. The condition of the sidewalk on Northampton Street between West Glen and Clark Streets is virtually unpassable, especially for persons with disabilities. Refer to Public Safety and refer to DPW to request a written plan or solution to be sent to City Council in early 2026. Refer to DPW. Councilor Bartley's not here, but I would
Refer to Public Safety and DPW.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. 61. Do we do 61? I can't remember if that. I don't think we do. Okay, thank you. 61 was filed by Bartley, Vacan, Jordan, and Sullivan. Ordered that the mayor, treasurer, and other officials named in the DLS letters of September 22nd and October 1st, 2025, provide a status report to the City Council as to the commands imposed by the state relative to unreconciled accounts for fiscal years 23, 24, and 25. The letter orders the city to comply no later than 12/1. Here's a direct quote from the 10/1/25 letter. Please be advised that you must complete all outstanding reconciliations within 60 days of this letter. Where'd you like that
Send
sent
to
to?
finance.
To finance? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. Okay, 60, hold on. All right, 62 is filed by Councilor Devine, ordered that in accordance with the MGL Chapter 44, the city accept the provisions of Mass Clean Water Trust Overflow and Stormwater Grant, $250,000, no match.
Be received and sent to finance.
Motion to receive and send to finance. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 63 is filed by Councilor Devine, that a transfer of $7,712 from TNC Rideshare Fund to OPED Contracted Services.
Be received and sent to finance.
Be received and sent to finance. All
Second.
those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Madam President?
Yeah.
If we could take up a motion to take up items 63 through 70, I'm sorry, 64
Yep.
through 70, those are all injured on duty.
Okay. So the motion was to suspend the rules and take items 64 through 70 as a package.
Yep.
Let me just read them briefly.
Yeah.
64 is a transfer request of $13,934.99 from sergeant and patrol to injured on duty. 65 is a transfer request of $15,038.76 from sergeant and patrol to injured on duty. 66 is filed by Councilor Devine. It's a transfer request of $3,142.74 from fire lieutenant to injured on duty. 67 is filed by Councilor Devine. It's a transfer request of $10,091.54 from sergeant and patrol to injured on duty. 68 is a transfer request of $19,282.18 from sergeant and patrol to injured on duty. 69 is a transfer request of $17,104.11 from sergeant and patrol to injured on duty. And last, 70 is a transfer request of $14,391.55 from sergeant and patrol to injured on duty. On the motion to suspend the rules and take these as a package,
So moved.
all those
Make a motion to do that.
Yes, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, and then do we need to take action this evening?
Yes.
Okay.
If we could, yeah.
Yep. So the motion I would entertain a motion to pass the first reading.
So moved.
Thank you.
I was just gonna go, all those in favor?
That's okay. Motion to pass the first reading. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Motion
And
to pass
Motion to
second
pass the
reading.
second reading.
thank you both. Motion to pass the second reading has been seconded. Any other discussion? Seeing none, the clerk will call the roll. If you vote yes, you are voting to adopt and approve 64 through 70, please.
Sullivan,
Yes.
Bacon,
Yes.
Anderson Burgos,
Yes.
Bartley. Oh, Devine,
Yes.
Did you hear her? She said yes.
Yes.
I didn't hear. Givner,
Yes.
Rainey,
Yes.
Jordan,
Yes.
McGrath Smith,
Yes.
Murphy Ramboletti,
Yes.
Ocasio,
Yes.
Rivera,
Yes.
unanimous vote.
Okay, with that, you have passed those transfer requests. Item 71 is filed by Councilor Devine. It's a transfer request of $50,000 from firefighter to R&M Vehicles Supplies Motor Vehicle.
Be received and sent to the Finance Committee.
Motions to receive and send to Finance Committee. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. 72 is also a transfer request of $19,449 for R&M Buildings and Grounds to Capital Outlay Motor Vehicle.
Motion to receive and send to finance.
Motion to receive and send to Finance. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 73 is ordered that there be a transfer of $135,000 from driver, admin assistant, senior civil engineer, gen construction inspector, principal accountant clerk, admin assistant, associate solicitor, workers' comp, cyber insurance, to claims and damages general.
Motion to take action this evening.
Finance.
Motion to take action this evening.
There was a motion to
Second.
suspend the rules and take action this evening, and it's been seconded. All those in favor on suspending the rules?
Second.
Second.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, any opposed? Okay, so now, on the motion to, would entertain a motion to pass the first reading.
Motion to pass the first reading.
Second.
Motion's been made and
Second.
seconded to pass the first reading. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And,
Motion to pass the second. reading.
motion to pass the second reading.
Second.
This has been seconded. The clerk will call the roll. If you vote yes, you are voting to adopt 73.
Can we have can
Oh, I'm
somebody-
sorry. Yeah, of course. Sorry. I was like in the zone for the last forever. Counselor Bacon?
I would just like there to be some discussion on what this is for.
Sure, thank you. This is related to what was discussed in executive session. So there can be things discussed, but there can't be a lot discussed. So thank you for allowing me to clarify that this was related to some of the items that we
Okay.
discussed in
I'm with you
executive
now.
session.
Thank you.
Okay, sorry. Thank you. I apologize. I should have given a reminder. I'm so tired. I apologize. Was there any other discussion? Okay. On the motion to pass the second reading, the clerk will call the roll. If you vote yes, you are voting to adopt item 73. Our clerk is on mute.
Sullivan,
Yes.
Bacon,
Yes.
Anderson Burgos,
Yes.
Bartley, Devine,
Yes.
Givner,
Yes.
Graney,
Yes.
Jordan,
Yes.
McGrath Smith,
Yes.
She
Murphy
said
Ramboletti,
yes.
Ocasio,
Yes.
Rivera.
Yes.
Unanimous vote.
All right, with that, you've passed 73. We did 74. We took up our late files. We don't have any more late files, correct? Nope. All right.
Motion
To adjourn.
Motion to
adjourn.
adjourn is
Please drive
seconded.
careful, everyone.
Yes, thank you, everyone.
Careful on the way home.
All those in
Good night,
favor?
everybody.
Aye.